A waitress walks up to one of her tables in a New York City restaurant and notices that the three Japanese businessmen seated there are furiously masturbating. "What the hell do you think you are doing?" she asks. One of the Japanese men replies, "We are all very hungry." The waitress asks, "So how is jerking off in this restaurant going to help the situation?" A second businessman replies, "Because menu says, first comb, first served." I was traveling on a long flight and thought the time would pass faster if I had a chat with the person sitting next to me. However, the person sitting next to me was a young girl, about 4 or 5 years old. "Hello there," I said. "I wondered if you'd be interested in chatting to make this flight go faster." "Okay, mister," said the little girl. "What do you want to talk about?" "Well, why don't we talk about the state of world affairs?" I said, feeling a bit smart. She looks at me out of the corner of her eye, puts down her crayon and says, "All right. But before we begin, can I ask you a question?" I tell her to go right ahead. She said, "When a horsey does a poop, it comes out in long tubes, yet when a sheep does a poop, it comes out in little pellets, and yet when a cow does a poop, it comes out flat and round. Why is that?" I look at her, then said, "That's actually a very good question. I have no idea." She then said, "Well, mister, how do you expect me to talk about world affairs when you don't know your crap?" A husband comes home from work to find his wife in the living room with her suitcase packed. He says, "Ha, what's going on?" She says, "I'm leaving you. I'm going to Las Vegas." The husband responds, "Holy smokes, why?" She says, "You know that thing I did to you with my mouth last night? Well, I found out today I can earn $400 for that, instead of giving it to you for nothing." The husband thinks for a moment, goes upstairs, and comes back down with his suitcase packed as well. His wife says, "Now where do you think you are going?" "Heck," he says, "I want to see how you survive on $800 a year." The subway train was packed. It was rush hour, and many people were forced to stand. One particularly cramped woman turned to the man behind her and said, "Sir, if you don't stop poking me with your thing, I'm going to the police." "I don't know what you're talking about, mister." "That's just my paycheck in my pocket," the man replied. "Oh, really?" she scoffed. "Then you must have some job, because that's the 5th raise you've had in the last hour."